You've been told that time is passing, that you're standing on a moving walkway called life, born at one end, dying at the other. You celebrate birthdays to track distance. You worry about running out of minutes, and you call that motion reality. But what if the walkway isn't moving? What if it's you? What if the thing you call time is not a force carrying you forward, but the echo of your own consciousness, rippling through itself, frame by frame? Stay with me, because here's where it gets unsettling, in the best way. What if every version of you, the you who succeeded, the you who healed, the you who finally stopped repeating the same pain, already exists right now, in parallel timelines running alongside this one, and you can jump between them? In this episode, we're going to do something most people will never be told directly. We're going to look at why physicists, neuroscientists, mystics, and manifestation teachers are all circling the same quiet truth. That time may not be moving forward at all. It may be unfolding through you, like light through a prism. And I'm going to show you how that realization is not just philosophy. It's the mechanism behind what people call miracles. Instant manifestation, quantum jumping, collapsing time. Because by the end of this, you'll see why the future you've been chasing isn't ahead of you in time at all. It's here now, sitting one frequency shift away, in the space between your next two thoughts. And if that sounds impossible, wait until you hear how your brain quietly edits timelines every night while you sleep, how emotion acts as the code that writes reality, and how presence itself may be the fastest time travel machine, the one that lets you quantum jump through life without even realizing you're doing it. Let's begin. Close your eyes for a second. Try, really try, to experience anything that isn't now. Go ahead. Try to feel yesterday, not remember it. Try to feel tomorrow, not imagine it. You can't. Every memory you access shows up now. Every future scenario you worry about shows up now. You have never experienced anything outside this moment. The scenery changes, sure. Jobs, people, moods. But the place where it appears, the screen it plays on, this, present awareness, this is not self-help fluff. Albert Einstein, who helped rewrite our understanding of space and time, said, "The separation between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion." In physics, this became what's called the block universe model. Imagine reality not as a line you're traveling, but as a four-dimensional loaf of space-time. Every moment that seems like past, every moment that feels like future, all of it already exists at once, like slices in a cosmic loaf. You are not walking down the hallway of time. You are more like a beam of awareness, lighting up one slice at a time. Déjà vu? That eerie feeling of, I've already lived this exact moment? In this view, it's not weird at all. It's not that you've been here before. It's that for just a second, your awareness brushed another slice of the loaf, another frame of the larger you. And here's where everything you've ever believed about time starts to wobble. If all frames exist, if every version of your life already sits in this block of possibility, then the question stops being, how do I get there someday? And becomes, how do I tune to that slice now? Put a pin in that. We're going to come back to it and make it extremely practical. But first, I want to show you something that will either calm you or completely undo you. Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor was a Harvard brain researcher. Her literal job was to map consciousness in the brain. Then one morning, a blood vessel burst in the left hemisphere of her brain. Language, gone. Logic, gone. Personal history, slipping. And as the part of her mind that tracks order, sequence, past, and future shut down, she found herself outside of time. She described it like this: everything was energy. I felt enormous and expansive, connected to all that is. There was no beginning and no end. For 4 hours, she watched the physical world flicker in and out. like reality itself was pulsing. She said her sense of me, the little personal self, melted into something infinite, peaceful. Years later, when she recovered enough language to talk about it, she said, "I realized that the deep inner peace I touched that morning has never been about time. It's the background that's always there." Hear what she's saying. Her stroke didn't create some mystical state. It briefly shut off the part of the brain that filters reality into. I am here in my timeline, and this is happening to me in sequence. When that filter went offline, what was revealed wasn't chaos. It was wholeness, stillness, a field of presence that didn't care about before or after. In other words, timelessness wasn't something special she accessed. It was something that was already there, underneath the noise. And if that's true, then presence isn't just be mindful, like Instagram quotes tell you. Presence might literally be contact with the layer of reality, where timelines stop being linear and start being selectable. We're going there next, because this is where physics quietly shakes hands with mysticism. At the quantum level, the level of electrons, photons, subatomic particles, reality doesn't behave like solid objects sitting in fixed places. It behaves like a story that hasn't decided how it ends. Particles don't sit in one defined state waiting for us to notice them. They exist in what physicists call superposition, a spread of possibilities, a cloud of maybes. And here's where things get weird. Only when there's an interaction, a measurement, an observation, a tension, does one version become the version. Physicists call that the collapse of the wave function. Mystics just call it creation. It's not that your eyeballs magically summon atoms into existence. It's that consciousness, awareness, is what takes pure potential and locks one outcome into the frame we call reality. So I want you to picture the quantum field as the universe's editing software. It's alive, it's dynamic, it's constantly holding infinite drafts. Every possible storyline, every possible you. Your consciousness is the cursor. Every thought, every emotional state, every assumption about who you are is a command. It tells the field, render this version. Not someday, now. When you sit and worry, you're feeding energy to the timeline in which worry is true. You're stabilizing it. You're basically telling the field, keep rendering more of this. When you sit in deep gratitude, not fake gratitude, not forced gratitude, but that grounded, settled warmth of, I know I'm held. You align with the version of reality where that safety is already true. In that sense, you're not marching forward through time at all. You're surfing an ocean of timelines that respond to your frequency. Modern physics calls this the many worlds interpretation. Every choice branches. Every branch is real, and they're all running. Spiritual traditions said it earlier in different language. Probable selves, higher selves, parallel selves. That sudden urge to text someone, to apply for something you shouldn't get, to walk away from a situation you've tolerated for years. That might not be random intuition. That might be a future version of you. A version who already made that jump and lived through it. Sending a nudge back through the field. Timeline guidance feels like intuition. The field is listening. Every state you stabilize becomes feedback. And that feedback tells the field which version of reality to output next. This is where your power actually lives. You are never just an observer. You are the projector. You are the one deciding which slice of the infinite loaf gets lit up and called my life, right now. And I need you to really feel the weight of this before we go any further. If consciousness is the projector, then consciousness is not inside time. Consciousness is what's casting time. Hold that in your chest, because this next piece is where most people plateau. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi studied high performers, painters, athletes, musicians. He noticed something they all described in their best moments: flow. One concert pianist told him, "When I'm playing, hours vanish. It feels like the music is playing me. Now, a lot of people hear that and go, right, be present, time slows down when you're passionate. But that's not actually what's happening here. Let's talk about stages of awareness. Stage 1 is ordinary unconsciousness. You're in the mind, reacting, lost in thought. Time feels heavy. You feel like me versus life. Stage 2 is what most people call spiritual awakening. You become the observer. You notice thoughts instead of being dragged by them. You notice emotion instead of drowning in it. You realize, wait, I'm not the storm. I'm the sky watching the storm. This is huge. This is where most teachings stop. But there's a step beyond that. Almost nobody talks about it. Because even the observer, that quiet sense of I am the one witnessing thought, is still a subtle identity. It feels serene, elevated, wise. But it's still slightly separate from life. It's still me watching experience. Here's the unlock. The next level isn't becoming a more detached observer. The next level is when even the observer dissolves. Now before your mind panics. Dissolving the observer does not mean blacking out, spacing out, going numb. That would be unconsciousness. This is the opposite. When the observer dissolves, awareness becomes so total, so radiant, that there's no longer a gap between me and what's happening. There's no center and no edge. There's just aliveness. In that state, creation doesn't feel like something you are doing. It feels like something moving through you. The painter isn't trying to paint well. Painting is happening. The musician isn't trying to play perfectly. Music is playing itself through their hands. The lover isn't trying to be present. Love is just happening, without commentary. This is not sleep. This is not zoning out. This is hyper-presence with zero separation. It's the moment the artist disappears, and art begins to play itself. It's the moment the observer melts into the observed, and time, the last veil, drops. And if you're wondering, why are we talking about creative flow in a video about timelines? Because this is the proof, in your direct experience, that when separation softens, time softens with it. In those moments of pure merge, you are not on a timeline. You are in the field, and the field is where quantum jumping happens. In other words, the deeper your unity with what is, the faster reality responds to match you. We're about to talk about manifestation, but not the way you've heard it. Not think positive. Not ask the universe and wait. We're going to talk about what actually happens when you stop living as a delayed observer and start living as the creative field itself. Because once you understand, you stop waiting for your life to change over time, and you start consciously jumping timelines. This is where everything starts accelerating. When the observer dissolves, awareness doesn't vanish. It expands, and in that expansion, creation begins. But here's the twist. When there's no you standing apart from life, there's no delay between cause and effect. Reality doesn't wait for you to change. It mirrors you instantly. Pause and imagine that. What if every shift in your state was already echoing across infinite versions of your life? This is where mysticism and physics whisper the same secret. As within, so without. Neville Goddard called it living in the end. The art of assuming the wish fulfilled until it feels more real than anything your senses can contradict. To Neville, imagination wasn't daydreaming. It was relocation, a conscious quantum jump to the coordinate of reality where your desire already exists. And here's what most people miss. When you live from that end, you're not forcing matter to obey you. You're simply tuning to the timeline, where the outcome is already true. Physicists describe it differently, but they point to the same law. Consciousness selects a probability branch, and the universe stabilizes around it. You're not creating from scratch. You're stepping into the frame, where it was always waiting, and time rearranges itself to prove you right. So, if that's true, how do we speak to the quantum field? What does it actually listen to? The quantum field doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you know. Every emotion, every belief is data. That data feeds the field. It narrows infinite possibilities into one rendered version of life. When your conviction and your desire finally match frequency, a quantum jump happens naturally. The wave collapses. The unseen becomes seen. And if you've ever wondered why forcing things rarely works, this is why. The universe doesn't move by demand. It moves by coherence. So manifestation isn't commanding the universe. It's remembering the timeline, where what you seek is already true, and allowing your state of being to align with it fully. Because once your knowing and your being are one, you stop asking when, and you start realizing now. Desire lives in time. I don't have it yet. Recognition lives in eternity. It has always been. That shift from wanting to knowing is the bridge between imagination and reality. So ask yourself, are you chasing what you want, or remembering what's already yours? When you cross that line, you stop chasing outcomes, and you start embodying them. And that's why Neville said, imagination is God in action. When you feel the wish fulfilled, you're not fantasizing. You're remembering. You are literally pulling scattered pieces of your identity back into one coherent timeline. This is what people mean by collapsing time. It's not about speeding things up. It's about realizing there was never a distance at all. So, how do you do this consciously? How do you live as if time itself bends to meet you? There are 3 steps. Remember, inhabit, release, remember. Don't imagine the future. Remember it. Because memory does not belong to the past. It belongs to awareness. Every future you could ever live already exists as an imprint in the field. When you recall it as if it already happened, you're not fantasizing. You're activating that imprint. Neuroscience confirms this. The brain cannot tell the difference between a vivid memory and a vivid vision. Both fire the same neural circuits, trigger the same chemistry, and send the same signal into the quantum field. This is now. So close your eyes. Feel the afterglow of completion. That subtle relief that says, it's done. Let gratitude rise before there's proof. That emotion is your GPS ping to that reality. It tells the universe exactly where to find you. Inhabit. Then, step inside it. Think, move, and speak from that version of you. Don't act as if. Exist as is. If you remembered a timeline where you are already healed, how would you breathe? If you remembered the version of you who already succeeded, what decisions would feel effortless? Every thought and microaction taken from that knowing anchors that probability into form. You're not pretending. You're broadcasting coordinates. Reality reorganizes itself around the frequency of your embodiment. Release. And now, the hardest step. Let it go, not to abandon it, but to stop holding it hostage inside time. The moment you check for results, you collapse back into separation. Measurement creates delay. Faith dissolves it. Let the field deliver what it already heard. Seeds don't grow faster because you keep unearthing them. They grow because you trust the soil. That's what every teacher truly means by let go. You're not giving up the dream. You're giving up the illusion that it isn't already true. And once you live like this, remembering, inhabiting, releasing, something quiet but enormous begins to happen. The boundaries between before and after blur. The field starts rearranging itself in real time, and what used to take years begins to arrive in weeks. And here's the part almost no one tells you. You can jump timelines backward too. Every night as you dream, your brain is already rewriting timelines, mixing fragments of memory and possibility, collapsing probabilities without you realizing it. Because if all moments coexist, then the past isn't gone. It's simply a pattern still vibrating in consciousness. quietly shaping the probabilities you call now. Neville called it the art of revision. You're not erasing history. You're freeing the present from the gravity of an unhealed story. Before sleep, revisit any painful memory. Replay it, not to suffer again, but to reclaim it. See yourself responding with the wisdom you hold today. Hear the apology that was never spoken. Feel the forgiveness that once felt impossible. Then let that version be your memory. You've just performed a quantum jump into the branch where that event healed long ago. And because consciousness is one seamless field, your current reality begins to reorganize around the new frequency. Forgotten friends call, old tensions dissolve, opportunities reappear. To the rational mind, it looks miraculous. But it's not magic. It's resonance. You simply change the timeline you were standing in. The past doesn't hold you. Your story about the past does. Change the story, and the universe rewrites its script to mirror your new remembering. And when you live this way, jumping freely through memory and possibility, something extraordinary happens. Time stops being a cage and starts becoming a canvas. Moments fold in on themselves, and what's left is presence, the one dimension where everything meets. What actually happens when you touch that presence? Science has a clue. Neuroscientists studying advanced meditators found that during deep awareness, their brains release gamma waves, signals that synchronize distant regions instantly. In these states, the sense of time dissolves. Some report seeing outcomes before they happen. Not prophecy, expanded perception. Their awareness isn't moving ahead in time. It's reading multiple frames of the same film. Presence lets consciousness see the movie all at once. That's why intuition, synchronicity, and déjà vu bloom. When you're deeply still, you're simply catching glimpses of other moments already unfolding in the eternal field. And here's the secret most people miss. The quieter the mind, the faster reality responds. Because silence has no lag. It is the 0 point where everything happens simultaneously. So if silence is the bridge, how do we walk across it? The paradox is simple. To make time move faster, you must stop waiting altogether. Presence collapses delay, because delay exists only in thought. When you stop projecting forward, reality stops staying behind. Gratitude, relief, love. These are not moods. They are magnetic fields. They pull matching realities into orbit. This is the deeper law of attraction. Not like attracts like, but now attracts now. When you feel fully alive in this instant, you synchronize with the version of you who already has everything you seek, and reality rushes to keep up. Because at the end of every search, there's only one realization left. You were never chasing time. Time was chasing you. Take a breath. Right here, this inhale is the same breath that birthed stars. Everything you could ever desire already vibrates inside this presence. You don't summon it, you notice it. The future isn't ahead of you. It's folded within awareness, waiting to be remembered. You are not learning to manifest faster. You are remembering how to be so still that time itself accelerates to meet you. As you finish this, feel your breath, your heartbeat, your pulse. This, right here, is eternity disguised as you. Live from it, speak from it, create from it, and watch as the timelines you once chased fold themselves effortlessly into your now. If this message found you, share it with someone still running the race of time. Remind them that presence, not pressure, is the real secret to creation. Thank you for walking with me, not forward, not backward, but deeper into the endless moment we never truly left.